mighty good word, party folk. It's your Maha High Priest. I'm up here on Saturday, Saturn's Day, January 27th. The sun is currently at around 8 degrees of Aquarius. Woo! What's good, Sagittarius? This is a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising collective reading. I do have other sign placements as well as other collective readings that may resonate, regardless of whether you have a Sagittarius, a distinguished Sagittarius placement. This may still resonate with you, but I do recommend checking out the collective readings, especially the full moon ones, since we're doing this during the full moon. Anyway, Sagittarius, we might as well just kind of get into it, right? Well, all the personal planets, I guess all of them, well, not the sun, but Mercury, Mars, and Venus are all in Capricorn, and the moon just went into Virgo, coming off the full moon about 48 hours ago from the full moon in Leo. All the big planets are now, quote unquote, moving ahead. Uranus just stationed. So it's Uranus and Jupiter are both in Taurus. And that brings me to your the card that I was doing a short meditation on, which is the Wheel of Fortune. This is from the Radiant Wilds Tarot deck. And then I have the Four of Wands companion card during my meditation from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So Sagittarius Magicians, Sagittarius High Priests, High Priestesses, Sagittarian Kings and Queens. This is your highest royal, most, inspirational court. I'm your mercurial, effervescent, funny-looking gesture with your messages for your freaking solar expansion is what I see here. It looks like you were in a bit of like respite, so like taking into account all that has gone on, and then like looking at the new direction. So determining what has come together and is able to show proof in your reality, right? Like what you have worked for and what that means to you, as far as did it come to fruition in a successful manner. So there is a bit of a like, maybe you aren't celebrating, but you are at least honoring that you have what you have accomplished, and how exactly all of that has come together. And so now it's about the dates that kind of brings me into like the future for you, the equinox. So around the time of the eclipses, that's really significant for you, and the end of the summer is also significant for you. Whatever it is that you're working on, you may be able to see sort of that switch at the end of the summer. I have here the Herbal Astrology Oracle. I mean, it seems like some of you have come into like a relationship. That's one storyline in it. But this is more like work relationships. So sort of that feeling after you've obtained or attained something. And so this marks like a goal post in your work. And I think before you make any other decisions, it's the advice from my meditation is to sort of sit back a little bit to determine where you stand emotionally and where you stand as far as like you're directing your passions, because there's a lot of like creative urge, creative surge, creative fire in you. Thank you so much, Goddess Isis, Sun God Ra, Mercury. Please, if we may have one card for the Sagittarius collective. This is a herbal astrology. That's Ashwagandha, card number 54, purpose. And then we also have card number 44, Valerian, acceptance. So yeah, the slowdown, the respite, the like rest between the next huge accomplishment for you, the next huge celebration, is meant to sort of realign you with your purpose, like a longer vision that you had. So you're like in the middle of something. You're perhaps looking towards your next steps as far as like a next move. This is a really beautiful card for you guys here, purpose. A lot of the readings for you, Sagittarius, have included a lot of those bigger world questions, and this is a card ruled by the North Node. This is a herb ruled by the North Node and the Moon. So the Moon's North Node, which Venus is squaring. I'm sorry. Mercury in Capricorn is squaring the North Node in Aries this in a few hours. So, okay. Making a decision based on how you feel and how much work you can take on, and making a decision based on your new relationships or a new big relationship. Like, I get more so like involvement in work, but again, you could have just solidified a more like an official type of relationship, right? And I have here the Moonology. I thought since we're still in kind of the midst of that full moon, that I should pull some full moon cards for you. So the full moon is always about a release, letting something go that hasn't been working, that is holding you back from completing this cycle. So again, you're about to complete this massive cycle in the end of the summer. So in the midst of everything else you've got going on, right? So what do you need to just drop right now? What can you release? What can you forgive to let go? And then what will help you to accept that must be released, and to accept the actual release, and then the final outcome from the Moonology report. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. It's wonderful to have you here. Go ahead and just grab one. So you're very close to achieving your goal, is what you need to release and forgive. So again, it's about that rush, right? Like you're feeling a huge emotional kind of swell in you, and it is involved, or like the fire and the water feed each other, right? Your creative urges fed by your emotional state, and vice versa. Okay, like tit for tat. A time to give rather than take. So it's a time to give yourself a time out, because you're also feeling the weight, the North Node. Wow. Step out of your comfort zone. That's what will help you to release a lot of this like pent up energy, is perhaps just doing it a little bit differently than you're used to, which in this reading, it just pertains to like, hey, instead of rushing out to your next project, what is it worth it to you to determine what you can do differently and how you can zero in more so, like refine your message, refine your approach from what you have determined from the determination of what was successful and how you were able to successfully accomplish versus what wasn't successful, what hasn't been successful. A new start is coming, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn, which is at the beginning of the summer. So you start to see the shift again in the summer, right? Don't let pride get in the way. This was just the full moon we had, right? So again, you may be feeling like you need to go. But do you? You may be feeling like you've already approached the finish line, but have you? Is it just that you need to take a break to see your actual vision, where you are actually at in your in accomplishing this bigger goal that you've had for a while, this dream that you've been chasing for a while, this goal, this like all this energy that you've been exerting is to create and to have a harvest, right? So like what will get you the biggest harvest at the end of this summer? Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. This was from the summer, from the fall. So from this, it's pinging from the last eclipses in the fall. So yes, again, you can at least feel out what you've observed and determine what was fruitful, what was successful, how you got to that in these last few months. You may have already been doing that, and now it's time to like apply that knowledge to like really zero in on your focus. There are a lot of ideas. There are a lot of what's next. There's a lot of feelings of what can I create next, and there's more of a message from the moon, from the planets, from the North Node. Like, can you sustain yourself at in the moment to process and determine next steps, right? With your dreams and your practical plan. Thank you so much. I have here the Hermetic Tarot. With the North Node and the Ashwagandha Purpose card, it's like you're really lit up in so many ways. I have here the Three of Wands in reverse. So it's like, remember, the rest is not just for you to like analyze your success. It's also for you to get rest, right? Look, Lord of Oppression, 10 of Wands in reverse. 3 of Wands, Lord of Great Strength or Established Strength. Again, a lot of Aries, Sun in Aries, right? So this solar eclipse, this upcoming solar eclipse, very major for you, very like crosses from Mexico to the US, right? From like, I don't know if it's all the way to the South Americas, but it's definitely across this North American continent. So you're covering a lot of ground. Can I say that? You're on a journey, but you're like halfway there. Can I say that? Because we are like kind of in the middle. We just passed the actual middle of the eclipse seasons, right? I have the Empress in reverse at the bottom. So like, yeah, take your time out, right? Enjoy a little bit of breathing room. You have your Saturn in Sagittarius, okay? Saturn is trying to work with you, but they want you to rest, right? To think a little bit more in a meditative state and less in a creative state. I have here the Five of Wands in upright and the Ace of Cups in reverse. So the Ace of Cups in reverse is the basis of why this rush, right? Like falling out of love with something, giving up on a passion, or ending a relationship. Something that you were really working towards left you in this more so feeling like you have to compete for that. You now are placed back in a competitive field, and you're having to not only fight to work, you're having to fight to love and like experience this loving energy that you put out so effortlessly. You're wondering, where the hell is it? Why am I not receiving what I put out? So Jupiter in Leo, it's again, don't let your pride get in the way of your rest. Don't let all this planning and journeying to leave you feeling drained. Don't take on more now. That's the sign from the universe. You're in a realignment phase of your life and you're almost out of it, but it's this shedding of the like constant creative placing my attention here, and over there. So it can be more mentally exhausting for you, and then the emotional exhaustion. I have here the Queen of Pentacles in upright and the Moon card in reverse. You are coming to that sort of, okay, if I'm gonna start, I have to release this, right? Which is great. Like, I think that you are coming to it and you're coming into alignment because of the actual time to rest and time to kind of analytically assess your current state of journeying wherever you, well, I'm sorry, all these cards kind of, the Death card, Six of Cups and Three of Cups in reverse are all speaking to me. They're still just, it kind of follows the Gemini, but this feels more like healing from a specific person or heartbreak. It's that kind of final release. You're finally perceiving. So in that rest, right, in that timeout, it's like in the lights out timing, it's like that's meant for you to hold space for you to finally release these last few like heart like pangs, or like there's still a little bubble of like ailment resulting from the heartbreak, or resulting from you having to leave one place to go to another, or to be in a temporary space or time. You have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. I'm sorry, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Again, it's like looking too much at what hasn't worked when it's meant for you. Right now, the timing is meant for you to look at what has actually worked, right? Yeah, wow, the star. It's around you. The energy's around you. It's like needing clarity, right? The energy's around you. I have here the Aries time. Maybe you do feel rushed. So what can you clear? What can you help to clear so that you can have this new beginning, so that you can get here to the Ace of Pentacles, right? We had a little bit more confirmation from that. And I'll also read to you the purpose card. I have the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, there is love. There is appreciation for you, and you're meant to hold time space for you to finalize and heal instead of being on the rush, being ready to go. Because you are meant to, right, turn that wheel and create more for yourself and earn, and also gain love, right, with the Ace of Pentacles. But okay, like it's like not just yet. There's just this like wrapping up. There's like this bandaging a little bit, like just a little bit wounded, a little bit of that wounded warrior, right? A little bit of that, like, my mind is messed up because I'm still feeling like heartache, feeling that loss, the departure. When you're already way far ahead, you're far, as you always are, right? I have your Temperance. It's like swinging. Can you bring back the scales? Can you swing back the scales to acknowledge what you've actually worked on in a fair way that has been able to result in a lot of the good? So it's looking at the good, right? Can we have more clarity on the Father of Wands? Yeah, it's like, before you go on to the next, make sure it's not just a feeling, right? Make sure you're set to actually win and accomplish. And this is a longer investment. It's a working with that like drive, that will from a virtuous sort of mode. So yes, again, none of these horses are in a rush, right? Versus the King of Wands and then the Knight of Wands. Those horses are like flying out the door, right? But here, God wants you to have a little bit more established order. God wants you to think about your actual purpose before you fly out the door, because that's what's going to lead you to the success, not the flying out the door, right? Can we have more clarity on the Ace of Pentacles, please? Thank you so much. I've been kind of in the zone here. I need to bring a little bit of that order for you guys. Yeah, you are a little bit tired. I mean, it could be a result of a lot of fun that you've been having, right? Like celebrating your new relationship, or really, falling in love. But there's a lot of, there's like that major urge and surge in you to like fly out the door. When you're really in all sorts of ways, you're like on a higher conscious level, you're like forming, you're like manifesting it on a subconscious level. You're also clearing and bringing order and establishing this like manifestation, this new creation that you're experiencing, right? Maybe you're also conceiving a child. Maybe you're in the midst of like that conception, right? So we have 7 of Pentacles on the Ace of Pentacles. So it's looking at, again, where to place their attention and not in an obsessive manner, right? Balance on so many ways with finances, yes, but more like emotional aspect of your financial means and ways. Without this, it's going to be difficult, right? Without rest, without meditation, without seeking respite. Okay. Without getting your emotional and like fire, that creative urge, without getting that, like, without solidifying that, without establishing that, more of the same old spinning out of really mental clarity, right? Like, it's that kind of emotional trigger or mental trigger, one or the other. Which one makes you take a certain action without regard to thought, mood, feeling, without taking into account all the things, right? It's like looking not only at your budget or the bank account, looking at the mood, your mood of the day, and what you've been working on versus where you're trying to get to versus where you're trying to, versus a new idea that you have. So that there's a lot to really ground and situate on so many levels, right? A lot of this is like, maybe there's just a lot of old ideas, old emotions mixed in with the new. And it's like, yes, you're meant to go into the new, but not with the old, right? Not with the old baggage. Old order in the Sagittarian court. You will turn it around, right? Wheel of Fortune, you're set to turn it around. Okay. Card number 54, Ashwagandha. So close, so close, so close. So with Anya, Somnifera, finding divine purpose. So your Dharma, finding the future self, receiving a divine gift. Reverse is unable to find purpose, feeling lost, confused, wounded from the past, exhaustion. Rulers are the North Node and the Moon. Okay. Ashwagandha is ruled both by the Sun and the Moon. It is strengthening, regulating, immune protective, anti-aging, and mood boosting. Embodiment of the energetics of the solar archetype. Well, you look at the nodes of the moon, nodes of the moon in Ayurvedic astrology symbolize our karmic trajectory. Rahu, or the North Node, has messages for our future self, our destiny, and what we are learning as a soul in this lifetime. Ketu, or the South Node, contains our karmic inheritance. The guidance is from Ashwagandha is like the North Node, mirrors the potentials of our divine purpose, also known as Dharma in Sanskrit. Ashwagandha contains both solar and lunar elements within it, as it provides great strength and adaptability, yet with the deep qualities of the moon, such as relaxation, lucidity, and expanding consciousness. Ashwagandha reminds us that it is not necessary to fully know the entirety of your purpose in order to pursue it. When you're living in alignment with your Dharma, there is no separation between your inner and outer realities. It becomes a cohesive expression, therefore granting a feeling of wholeness and completion. Perhaps you are not clear on your desired outcomes. Your efforts feel unfocused or purposeless. Even if you're lost touch with your why, remain open to the mystery of the journey. Stay focused and playful. Keep following the signs. Alrighty, there you go, Sagittarius. Keep it so real. Keep it very light. Pack very lightly. Get a little bit of rest. Enjoy some time to yourself. You're on it. There's a surge within you. You got this. I'll be back with more messages. Thank y'all so